In this video, I would like to provide you with another thing to consider when building an exterior stairway on the ground or maybe on some pavers or even on concrete, where the concrete might not be straight and could make it difficult to build a straight stairway. Now, all I'm going to suggest in this video is that you start off with a solid base, something like this, where we have some 4x6 beams and they're attached to 2x6 at each end. And of course, I'm not about to suggest that these beams cannot crown, warp, sag, or deform in any way, because the longer they are, the higher the risk of them deforming and, of course, defeating the purpose of my entire video here. Now, for some of you, you might consider building a set of stairs like this one, where we have two individual sections and we're going to connect them with one at the top. And if you do something like this, and one of the sections of the stairway does something like this, then you can get a pretty good idea why I would choose the other method, especially if it gets worse over time. So here we have a section that has sagged and dipped into the soil, or you could have a situation where one end of the stairway raised a little bit, and that could create a situation like this, where we have the upper platform now teeter-tottering off of this point and this point here. The problems I would be talking about if you don't create a solid platform at the bottom. And of course, you can always use stakes, metal stakes or wood stakes, maybe some treated lumber that's ground rated, something that isn't going to rot. And I'm not about to suggest you can't use something that isn't going to rust. However, if you find that, then go ahead and use it. And of course, the stakes will be attached to all of the beams in the project. I only have them on this side, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to attach them to the other beams also. And then once you have all of this level and squared and you've created a solid surface to work off of, you can go ahead and start putting the stairway together. And of course, you can use nails or screws to attach your treads to the beams and continue assembling the project. And here we're using some building hardware framing anchors to attach the rim joist here to the sturdy beam below. Same over here. And then we can use some stakes. So we wouldn't need to use these. We could always use longer ones. And you could always extend these a little higher to connect to the next level of framing. Again, don't get stuck on just the ideas that I have in this video. If you can come up with something better, definitely use it. Just make sure that everything is attached firmly together before installing the next treads or floor framing. And if you notice here, we have used some 1x4 to connect the different levels of floor framing or steps together. If you can use longer stakes, then you won't need to use these boards over here, and have built our stairway on a nice sturdy surface instead of building it in sections where each one of the sections can sink into the soil and create problems. And again, I'm not about to suggest this is the best way, because if you firmly attach everything together using smaller sections or set them on top of a concrete pad, then you might not need to use this method.